Right then, lads and lasses, how we're doing, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a lovely day. Welcome back to the Jody Josh channel, and welcome back for daily news. Ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic bit of news that I could bring you on the YouTube channel yesterday. That was amazing, wasn't it? It literally, I know I've said it about 10 times now, but it quite literally came out of nowhere. Newcastle United's club record signing, no previous links, not like Newcastle is interested in Nick Woltemade. Newcastle are monitoring Nick Woltemade like we do with the other 500 players. Bang! Nick Woltemade is a Newcastle United club record signing out of nowhere. But to touch upon strikers and Newcastle United, we've got even better news. Not only was it videoed yesterday of Nick Woltemade being in Newcastle, of course, arriving in his hotel. If you do recognise the hotel, very, very nice, best in the business, I must say. I've been there myself. Very, very lovely. The club is looking after him very, very well. Not only was he spotted on a quayside hotel, but he's also been spotted inside St James's Park today. There is a photo of Newcastle's new 6'6" striker looking at the Gallagher for the very first time, and if I'm not mistaken correctly, it looks like he's looking exactly at my season ticket seat. I'm joking. Obviously he knows that I sit there. No, I'm joking. But anyways, though, in that photo, I don't know if that's his mum or his sister with him, but she looks taller than 6'6" Woltemade. Yeah, honestly, for the lasses team, get her signed up. She'll be good at set pieces. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, we've got news on yet again Newcastle United's transfer activity, as we are expecting another striker alongside our club record signing Nick Woltemade, and of course an injury update away at Leeds away, a very promising one as well, and a little bit more further news on Yoane Wissa and the dominoes that need to fall at Brentford. So without further ado, if you do enjoy the video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you are new for all Newcastle United content, and turn that notification bell on so you are never ever late. Without further ado, let's get into it. Firstly, before the news, which I am very excited to bring you, ladies and gentlemen, it's been made clear in Eddie Howe's press conference this morning. Not only did he have a little go at Alexander Isak, which you may have seen, but anyways, on the injury news, players that actually matter to the football club, Fabian Schär, although being withdrawn with a concussion against Liverpool, typical Fabian Schär, I'm sure he's honestly got to have the Guinness World Record for the amount of head injuries or concussions ever received in a footballing career. It's absolutely ridiculous, but he will be available against Leeds, and you can imagine, if everything's okay and there's no risks there, he will probably be starting, as he has in every Premier League game so far this season. Sandro Tonali has a chance to feature against Leeds. Obviously he was took off with a shoulder injury. Eddie Howe said that he couldn't exactly say what it was because he didn't know. Joe Linton unfortunately does miss the trip, and hopefully, fingers crossed, will be available after the international break. So that's a little bit more of a lengthy one compared to Sandro Tonali, who yet again does have a chance to feature in that match. And Nick Woltemade, confirmed by Eddie Howe, he actually said this, will not be registered in time for the Leeds match. He had to be registered at 12 midday on Friday to play in that match. It's always the working day before a game, and of course it's got to be at midday. It's obviously past midday as I'm recording this now, so he obviously won't be available for Leeds. But yes, Eddie Howe confirmed that he won't be registered in time, which to me, when Eddie Howe was so discreet in press conferences, just about confirms that obviously he is a Newcastle United player. He's just got to do his medical, and I mean, he's a professional footballer. I would like to think that he could pass that medical. We've seen him in St James's Park, obviously inside Newcastle at a hotel on the quayside. He is a Newcastle United player, as it was reported by the media, and we've seen it in real life now. But on the topic of strikers, not only did Eddie Howe confirm yet again in his press conference this morning that after Nick Woltemade, Newcastle are still going to be active in the transfer window after the imminent arrival of the striker, of course, which is very, very interesting. Also, Keith Downey did report this last night, that news, before Eddie Howe said that with his own words, saying that Strand Larsen is not possible to a move to Newcastle United. Strand Larsen and Woltemade are apparently appearing as two of the very same strikers. Of course, you don't want that at Newcastle. You want two very different players, like Yoane Wissa would be. What's the point of having Woltemade starting up top and then bringing on Strand Larsen? The defenders know exactly what they're coming up against. A very tall striker that is just going to utilise every set piece. He's going to want it in the air. You want someone like a Wissa who's probably better with the ball at his feet. Saying that, Woltemade looks amazing with the ball at his feet, but nevertheless, you never ever want two strikers, and paying so big money who are of the very same profile. You want a little bit of exclusivity there. Yet again, Liverpool, of course, with Woltemade signing and another striker coming through, it does pretty much make it common sense that Alexander Isak could potentially leave Newcastle. And I think we will be, as we always have been, but especially now that we have 2 strikers through the door, or we are about to. We haven't even got 1 through the door as of right now. It might be confirmed actually by the time this video is out. But if we got Woltemade, Wissa, or any other striker, which we've not heard of yet, it does look like Wissa will be the very big possibility, though. Liverpool are expected to come in with a Premier League record offer for Alexander Isak. That will be their second bid, toppling over that £110 million bid, which, let's be real, even the damage that Alexander Isak has done to Newcastle this summer, you want him gone? Probably. I want him gone. We're not going to accept £110 million. Like, no matter what's went on behind the scenes, and of course the player doesn't want to be here, Newcastle probably don't want to reintegrate Alexander Isak. If we sign Wissa, keep Woltemade, we kind of need that money. It's not going to be for a cheap price, as much as the player obviously isn't going to play for Newcastle United again. Then again though, Lyle Thomas of Sky Sports, on the topic of Yoane Wissa, confirms that Brentford are in talks with Dortmund's Maximilian Baer, who is considered as that Yoane Wissa replacement. Still a long way to go, unfortunately, and unfortunately even more. It's not an easy deal to do for the German. However, there is still no guarantee that Wissa joins Newcastle, according to Lyle Thomas. Now, I mean, don't think about that too much. It does sound really, really negative, but there's never any guarantees in football. There's not a guarantee that Newcastle win, lose, or draw. Well, actually, I probably shouldn't have said that, because there is a guarantee that Newcastle will win, lose, or draw against Leeds on Saturday, but you know what I mean. It's like, there's no guarantees in football with anything. Alexander Isak could start against Leeds on Saturday. It's not going to happen because he's not match fit, and he obviously doesn't want to play for Newcastle, but yet again, you get the picture. You can never ever write off or say anything is for definite in football. But in my opinion, what I think could happen, and one thing I've actually thought of just before, Yoane Wissa will still join Newcastle. I mean, he's made it his priority the whole summer. He's not went to training with Brentford. He's not turned up in the squads. And also, according to Craig Hope, is not expected to turn up or even be a part of Brentford's entire squad, not even travelling to the match as Brentford plays Sunderland on Saturday tomorrow, which I don't condone, by the way. I've seen so many Liverpool fans say, how can you sort of tolerate that for Wissa? Obviously, you know, not turning up to training, making it clear that he wants Newcastle, but you're having a go at Isak for doing the exact same to Liverpool. I've said it since day one. I don't condone what Wissa does. No player should ever have power over the football club that literally employs them and pays them tens, if not, in Alexander Isak's case, hundreds of thousands of pounds to play football. Like, away from this whole monumental game, right? It's an absolute dream to play football. How on earth are you chucking your toys out of the pram as a grown man who's paid that much a week just because you're not getting a move? Like, if Isak said to Newcastle politely and made it clear at the start of the window, look, I don't want to play here anymore. You offered me a contract. We don't know this, but this is just for argument's sake. You offered me a contract. You haven't honoured it. I want to move to Liverpool. They're going to give you 100 and whatever pounds. So, you know, all parties could be very, very suited towards that. That would have been so much better than not turning up to training, not going to South Korea, not going to Singapore, not playing against Celtic, not going to Villa Park, not playing against Liverpool, going to his old team's training ground to train instead of Newcastle's. A complete different country. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely ridiculous. But nevertheless, one thing I have also thought of myself, and I want you to let me know down below if you do agree with me. Now, this may heavily be affected by the way that Alexander Isak has treated Newcastle United this summer, and obviously myself absolutely wanting to see the back of him now. I want him out of the football club, obviously for a very, very good price. But I actually think, and I do believe, that if Alexander Isak leaves Newcastle for minimum 100 I did want to say 20, but I've got 130 in my head. £130 million. Newcastle signed Woltemade for £65 million. Now that's more or less bang on half of what we would get for Alexander Isak. Let's say we sign Yoane Wissa for £40 million. We've still got a bit of leg room with the price we've sold Isak for, and we've got 2 very, very good strikers. Woltemade, obviously viewed as Isak's replacement, and Yoane Wissa, a man who scored 19 non-penalty goals in the Premier League last season, is a Callum Wilson replacement. Wissa, in my opinion, with all due respect, I love Callum Wilson, is undoubtedly an upgrade on the 2024-25 Callum Wilson. That goes without saying. Woltemade, probably, as much as it pains me to admit it, not on Alexander Isak's level just yet, as much as I hate him, or as much as I dislike him, sorry. He is an absolute superstar, isn't he, Alexander Isak? But nevertheless, yet again, we've got a little bit leg room. What is it, 20 to 30 million pounds, Woltemade and Wissa for Alexander Isak. Just imagine we got like £10 million for a prime Callum Wilson. That would have been so ideal, wouldn't it? We've got profit for Wilson, would have got profit for Isak, and 2 great strikers through the door. So I'm happy with that. I'm not going to lie, I really am. Yet again, probably benefited by Alexander Isak's actions this summer. If he was happy as Larry and Liverpool wanted him, but he kind of wanted to stay, you'd probably be saying, no, if he wants to stay, you've got to keep him regardless of the price. But there we'll have it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Yet again, let me know your thoughts on everything down below. What you think of Woltemade for £65 million. I'm not going to lie, I didn't know too much about him when this news first came out. I've done a little bit of research, done the absolute most sporting director thing I ever could have done, and I've watched YouTube compilations, and judging off that is like the most minuscule thing you can ever judge a player off, but he does look pretty decent. I mean, look, it's a very, niche saying looking on YouTube compilations, but that is him in real life, like whether you want to admit it or not. And he's got a variety, such a range of finishes, top right corner, inside the box, overhead kicks, headers, turning players inside and out, going around the goalkeeper. Yes, he's very young. Yes, he's very raw. He signed for Stuttgart free last season, and now he's leaving for £65 million. Some great business from them, but nevertheless, obviously, it goes without saying, I back him all day long. Just imagine a 6'6" striker, long sleeves, number 9 on the back of the shirt. Oh, the aesthetics are absolutely amazing. He's got to bag 30 goals in the Prem just for the aura alone. Nah, I'm joking. Nevertheless, though, if you did enjoy the video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you are new for all Newcastle United content. Newcastle United content. Love bringing you all the news, and hopefully we might have some news later on today if Woltemade is confirmed by the club. He might be by the time this video is out. Knowing my luck, he will be, but now that I've said that, he's probably not. Nevertheless, I've been Josh. See you all soon. Go and enjoy your day, people. Fingers crossed for 3 points. It leads away tomorrow.